Alright, today on On the Ropes, I got the current WBC featherweight champion with a current record of 31-1. Currently the longest reigning WBC champion from the bloodline of royalty in the sport of boxing. One of the best to ever get into that square circle. Mr. Gary Russell Jr., what's good?
Man, what's good, man? We here in the dungeon, man. This shit real in here.
I want to jump right into it, man. I want to talk about the current situation or negotiations that are going on with Devin Haney, and what's the situation right now with that fight?
Well, to be honest with you, as of now, ain't really no negotiations going on. I talked to his father. You know, if you've seen the barbershop conversations, you see offer I put in them out there. They never returned back. You know, that's not how you're supposed to do business. Nobody responded. So from the outside looking in, it looked like a motherfucking duck to me. As of now, there's been a lot of stuff going on with Terrence Crawford. You know, there's a lot of stuff been going on with Terrence Crawford. A lot of people said that I supposed to sucker punched them and this, that, and third. It wasn't no motherfucking sucker punch. Whenever another man, another elite athlete is in arm's range or he's in your bubble, he needs to make it clear that he's not a threat. That wasn't the case, so he got punched in the fucking face.
You know, speaking on that, you know, I know that has came up before by another boxer talking about that situation. Do you regret bringing that situation up on Barbershop Conversations?
Hell no, I don't regret bringing it up. That speaks volumes on my character. That's just the individual I am. I'm a real man at the end of the day. You know, all that back and forth, yelling, riff-raff. I'm not one of them people that's gonna go back and forth. I'm gonna put my hands on you. I'm a physical type person. I'm a real aggressive type individual. Boxing was the perfect outlet for me, you know, and it works wonderful. But it's crazy because you got a lot of suckers in this sport too, you know, but the fake starting to outnumber the real, but it is what it is on this end.
Have you had a chance to have a man-to-man conversation with Terrence Crawford about it?
Nah, I ain't have a man-to-man conversation about him. I did see him since I punched him in his mouth, and he ain't say nothing to me.
How serious were you when you put the offer out there to fight him at the 147?
Man, I'm real serious. I just got off the phone with Al Hammond yesterday. I told him to reach out to Terrence and them, tell him, let's make a fight happen. You know, I mean, let's really get the fans what they want. The fans, they want to see the best fight the best. Apparently, he don't got no fights. Ain't nobody fighting him. Ain't nobody fighting me. Give me the opportunity to do something amazing. You know, ain't nobody in the sport of boxing will be able to jump the weight classes, multiple weight classes, and then fight one of the guys that's supposed to be that guy. I make history just with that in itself.
You know, I want to go back a little bit because the current situation with you and Devin Haney seem like a lot of fighters are so-called not wanting to fight you.
Right.
How crucial or important that would have been in both of y'all situations to really put that fight together, and how close were you for that to happen?
I mean, it'd have been real crucial to happen. Like I say, I reached out to his father, Bill Haney. You know, I reached out to him, and I told him, I said, man, apparently ain't nobody trying to fight your son. Lomachenko did some sucker shit and gave the belt up to be a franchise champion. I can't respect that. Ain't nobody trying to fight your son. Ain't nobody trying to fight me. Let's make this shit happen. You know what I'm saying? I'll fight your son. Worst case scenario, if I scorch his little ass, you know what I'm saying? If I scorch his little ass, which is highly likely I will because he's never really fought nobody of my pedigree. You know what I'm saying? If I beat that little ass, you know what I'm saying? He only 21, 22 years old. He'll have the ability, he'll lose to one of the best fighters in the world. And if he wins, he beat one of the best fighters in the world, and it'll be one of the biggest paydays that he's ever gotten in his career. You know, and that was something that I offered to his father. You know, he never got no call back. You know, so, I mean, it is what it is. I can't let these guys stand in the way of my progression. As you can see in the sport of boxing, I called out everybody that is at 126 who didn't want to fight me. Everybody who there is at 130. Everybody who there was at 135. I'm trying to go to 140. And if Terrence Crawford grows some nuts, you know what I'm saying, I see him at 47.
You know, have you had a chance to have a man-to-man conversation with Devin Haney about that? You know, because like you said...
Well, I never talked to Devin Haney. Apparently, he ain't fully matured into a man as of yet. That's why his father do all this talking for him. Maybe that's the case. I'm not sure.
Going back to just looking back at the situation right now, currently what you see with Lomachenko and Teofimo Lopez, where he turned down...
I fight either one of them. I fight even one of them. If they not fighting nobody, they don't got no fight. What's up, Lomachenko? I'm on your ass anyway.
Would you take that 1.2?
Would I take it? Fuck yeah, I take it. I take it just to, I take it just so I can break my foot off in his ass. I take that for him. I take it for both of them.
Were you surprised that Teofimo Lopez turned that offer down?
I mean, no, I'm not surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, a lot of these guys don't know their worth. A lot of people don't know their worth, and they settle for anything. You know, we prize fighters at the end of the day. When it's all said and done, you know, when our career is over with, we don't got nobody that's behind the scenes or outside entity to help these fighters manage their money and et cetera outside of the sport when their career is over and done with. So, of course, he want to make the most that we can get out of it. I can't get mad at him for that. But because he's in that weight division, shit, he fair game too, though. I mean, it is what it is.
You know, just for that opportunity to beat the man who's supposedly supposed to be at the top of the mountain, wouldn't that be such a bigger interest than the money itself, though, at times?
Of course. Of course. That's why I say I take that number.
You know, speaking of the 130 weight division, you had talked about it on many occasions.
Right.
Would that interest you in a fight with the champion at the WBC at the 130 with Miguel Bachet?
Bachet? I mean, honestly, it wasn't nothing that interested me. You know what I'm saying? If I'm tired of fighting all these guys that really don't got the name. I want to fight the guys who's supposed to be the best of the best. Bachet, he's a decent fighter. I mean, I can't take nothing from him because he is a world champion. You know, you got to give him that. You know, but overall, he's not a better fighter than me. He just tried to be strong. He don't got no real skill, no real good foot movement, no nothing. He's not a complete package. I'm more of a complete package than a Miguel Bachet. You know, so that's not somebody that I would be focused on. You know, I want to fight, like I say, I definitely want Terrence Crawford, since you got a whole rack of shit to say about getting punched in the face. I definitely want you. We can cross the bridge. We can make this shit happen. They say me, you, and Terrence Crawford, and Earl Smith, the realest boxers in the sport. Let's really do some real shit and take the politics and the bullshit out of the equation and get the fans what they want. What's up? I punch you in the hole in your face and you ain't fight back.
You know,
at least do it in front of some people, man. Let's make this shit shake.
You know, with that being said, man, who you feel right now, man, because in the state of boxing right now, who the real dogs in boxing you feel right now? Besides yourself?
Besides myself, my little brothers. I ain't giving out nobody no credibility. If you around my weight class or around my little brother's weight class and there's a possibility that y'all can fight, we not friends. I ain't giving nobody no props, no nothing. Y'all awesome suckers, because everybody, it's a possibility that y'all gonna line up on the chopping block. I don't wanna be friends or none of that. That's just how I'm going.
You know, speaking of your brothers, like for example, Antonio, many are saying, man, between the 115 and the 122, nobody can see him. Do you feel, man, he's not at this point getting that opportunity like you saw the other night with the Angelo Lee getting the shot? And then,
I think it's a possibility, but they about to start making their run. They about to start making their run. All these guys like a Devin Haney or Teofimo Lopez, or let's say a Terrence Crawford or Lomachenko, if they don't want, or Gervonta Tank Davis, you know what I'm saying? Because I wanted him too. You know what I'm saying? If none of these dudes don't want to fight me, they going to have to deal with my bloodline, my pedigree at some point in time. They going to try to move up in weight or fluctuate. You going to run into my little brother. You going to run into one of my little brothers. So y'all stuck between the rock and the hard place. So y'all might want to pick your poison.
You know, speaking on that, speaking on your brother Antoine, he's like one of the real dogs.
One of the real dogs. You know what I'm saying? One of the real dogs. See, I like to look sweet when I'm fucking something up. I make it look sweet and crafty and all that. My little brother, he ain't gonna make it look sweet. You know what I'm saying? He just gonna run you the fuck over. You know what I'm saying? So you might wanna pick y'all poison, man. It's real over here, man.
You know, looking back on your great career that you had, man, what would you say, two-part question, your biggest fight of your career and your toughest opponent of your career up to this point?
I can answer both of them with the same question. And it's not to be disrespectful to any of the fighters or anything like that, but the biggest fight of my career, as well as the biggest opponent, or my toughest opponent, was myself. My skill set is superior, is bar none, second to none to anybody that's competing in the sport of boxing right now today. I don't give a fuck what weight class you pick. Ain't nobody in the sport of boxing doing the shit that I do in the ring. Ain't nobody gonna hit nobody with a 4, 5, 6, 7 punch combination and still be on point to slip or to attack and defend simultaneously right after throwing a 6, 7, 8 punch combination and then running that shit right back off. Ain't nobody doing that, man. My biggest challenge is preparing myself to the best of my ability. I never focus on my opponent.
You know, right now, where do you rate yourself among the best pound-for-pound fighters in boxing today?
I'm one of the best fighters pound for pound, period. I don't even pay attention to the pound for pound list because I'm not on it. It's a waste of my time or energy. Politics is what dictates who's on the pound for pound list. For the people that's listening that don't understand what politics is, I'm gonna break this shit down. Politics is nothing but a group of individuals that's put in place to reward or take away from the people that they want to reward or take away from. That's it, that's all. That's all the politics is. You can cut it, slice it however you want. You know, so, I mean, it is what it is. I'm not really tripping off of it. I'm going to keep grinding and keep pushing. If the door not open, we're going to kick this motherfucker in.
You know, I want to go back a little bit because I don't know if you saw that little viral photo that Devin Haney had put up with the Ducks and had a list of the fighters, pictures with the Ducks. I noticed he did not have Mr. Gary Russell Jr. in there.
I mean, he couldn't have Mr. Gary Russell Jr. because it would make him look stupid because on the Barbershop Conversations interview, we had over 700,000 views and over 700,000 people seen that his father called in and confirmed that I was on the phone doing negotiations trying to make a fight happen between me and Devin Haney. So there's no way possible for Devin Haney to say I was trying to duck him. You know what I'm saying? If anything, if anybody was ducking, it'd be them because they never got back with us.
And that's where it's left off at this point.
And that's where it got left at. You know, so.
In your opinion, do you think those talks can surface back up, or you think that's a done deal at this point?
I mean, I think those talks can still surface back up. They talking about him fighting a Gamboa. I mean, how could you?
I don't think people really want to see that.
Yeah,
to be honest,
who would? I mean, you can't get no claim to fame fighting Gamboa. Gamboa, he lost to Tank when he was 38. He was for real. He was already over the hill when he fought Terrence Crawford. He fought Terrence Crawford on a 2-year layoff. He skipped the whole weight class because he was just he just wasn't doing nothing for 2 years. Moved up a weight class, not because he was just trying to build weight, but because he was just out of shape. Moved up. And he was 35 then and was still in Terrence Crawford's ass. You know what I'm saying? You know, so for you to go and fight a guy that's 38 years old, damn near 39 years old, you know, just to get a little name in your hat, that shit don't work. You know what I'm saying? That's not a real credible type of fight. If you want a credible type of fight a Mr. Gary Russell Jr.
I think the fans would definitely love to see a Devin Haney, Mr. Gary Russell, or even the rematch with Lomo, because with that date open right now.
I definitely want.
Because I'm quite sure right now with Bob Arum.
He don't want to fight me. I know you don't want to fight me. I know you don't want to fight me. I will fuck you up, man. We fight 100 times, 99. I'm gonna scorch you. You
know, with the current situation in boxing right now, with the no fans, you know, I'm quite sure he still has that date available. So he's going to have a fight, and you can't have just anybody to fight Lomo. Why not Mr. Gary Russell Jr.?
Why not Mr. Gary Russell Jr.? Why not? What's up, Bob? Holler at me, man. We free agents, man. Make some shake.
Yeah, man. You know, we have a hotbed of the best boxers in the sport of boxing out of this area, man. Where do you rate yourself among the DC legends, man, that put the gloves on and stepped into that square circle, man?
Man, skill-wise, I feel as though I'm one of the best people that's done it in our area right now. You can't take. We had a lot of people that became world champions in our area, in this area.
I think we had like 4 that held it at one time.
I mean, we had Ricky Bowe who was here. We had Sean Bay,
Keith
Johnson, Keith Holmes. Who else? Daryl Coley.
I think did Chop Chop have it?
Chop. William Joppy. You know, we had a lot of guys from our area that did something, but I think I'm definitely more talented. And I bring more to the table. I can do more in the ring than what a lot of these guys did. I think the closest one to me was Mark Johnson. You know, he was on the pound for pound list for the longest, for about 4 years. And even with that, you know, the title that I got, I knocked the guy out that beat that beat Mark Johnson. You know, the guy that beat Mark Johnson was Johnny Gonzalez. Johnny Gonzalez beat Mark Johnson. I think he was like 18 years old, and he took the title from Mark. I took the title from Johnny. You know, so we definitely.
Well, that's a little bit of boxing history right there.
So we definitely passing the torch on to one another. You know, I think we use a lot of these guys as examples, the things to do and the things not to do. You know, a lot of these guys, a lot of fighters in general. At the end of the day, like I said, we don't have that support system behind us. So at the end of the day, when our career is over and done with, a lot of these guys really don't got nothing to show for the blood, the sweat, the tears, the hard work, the sacrificing, and etc. You know, you don't got nothing to show but just your body all beat up, bruised up, you know, and a lot of debt.
You know, speaking on that, do you feel in our area with the legends, man,
Oh, you gotta put Ray Leonard in there too. Ray Leonard.
Definitely, man. Pop.
And Ray, you gotta put Ray in there. You gotta put Ray in there for sure.
Do you feel they give back to the youth boxers coming up as far as like knowledge and wisdom and understanding?
Hell yeah. I prefer to deal with the babies than the adults. You know, with children, their brains is like a sponge. You know, and it's important. They say it takes a village to raise a child. You know, so you gotta really take the time out and the energy. These are the same little children that's gonna be growing up with my baby. So if I know that if I take the time out to help mold one of these youngins to be a real man or to be a real young woman, you know, to conduct themselves in that way, then I make society better for my children as well as the other children that's out here as well.
Yeah, I want to get your thoughts on this because I asked Keith about this. He said one of the things that's missing with these boxers coming up today is the fundamentals. He said the fundamentals are lost. Do you agree with that?
Hell yeah. A lot of these guys aren't fundamentally sound. You know, a lot of these guys aren't fundamentally sound. You have guys that are good athletes. That's why I say it's intellect over athleticism. You know, you have guys that's good athletes, meaning they got good eyes, they can see stuff coming a lot better than the other people, so they can get out of the way quicker. They got good legs, you know, they got good explosion within their body. That's just a physical attribute. You know, that's not the basic fundamentals. You know, you got a lot of guys that's winning because they're good athletes, but when they get in there with a guy that's not even as great as an athlete as them, but is more technically sound than them, that's where they're gonna have problems at. You know, so that's definitely a big issue though. That's the root. That's like building a house. You want to build the house from the ground up, you know, so a lot of these guys, they skip that point.
Okay, because recently we just had Shakur Stevenson move up, vacate at the 126 and move up to the 130. Does that have an interest for you fighting him?
It ain't have an interest for me.
Not really?
Honest, it never had an interest for me, to be honest with you, and to be honest, I don't think he wanted to fight me either, you know, realistically speaking. You know, even to go back into the Devin Haney situation. I seen Shakur. You see, there's a video of Shakur and Devin Haney spawn before at Mayweather Gym, and that shit was everywhere. Shakur got the better of that shit. Shakur got the better of that spawn. He got out on Devin Haney, if you ask me. So I can easily gauge how the work would go with me and the Devin Haney because I worked with Shakur. I worked with Shorty before. And if you was to pay attention, you know, this is how you know that the shit that I say is real and is relevant. Go and watch one of Shakur's old interviews. They had asked Shakur Stevenson about who they feel as though a fight to go between me and the Tank Davis. And Shakur said, well, you know what, I'm gonna keep it 100. I worked with both of them. And the hardest punch that I've ever gotten hit with was by a right hook by Gary Russell Jr. You know what I'm saying? That's some factual shit. You can go and look that up yourself. You know what I'm saying? I work with Shakur. He's a hell of a fighter. I knew he'd become a world champion. You know, he still got a lot in this game that he got to learn and develop on. But he's technically sound, so he'll definitely be able to get over and rock with these other guys. You know,
you brought up Tank, man. What's your thoughts on him working with Floyd right now?
Both of them some suckers, man. I can't get with it. I can't get with it. You know what I'm saying? They say, well, Gary won't sell, this, that. Everybody and their mother will watch me and Tank fight. Everybody and their mother. The issue is I pose too much of a threat. Tank been ducking my little brother since he was in the amateurs. He ain't want to fight Antoine or he ain't want to fight against Antoine and Tony on them when he was in the amateurs. They ain't want to fight them, man. We used to have, my little brother had to make Tank fight people in tournaments, make weight, because he was acting like a sucker. Like, I really know these guys personally, you know what I'm saying? They fake behind this media and this social media and Instagram shit. Come on, man, I'm real, man. It's real over here. Like, we know, I can see the kinks in these dudes' armor, man. I can see the sucker in these guys, man. A lot of these dudes suckers, and they got a little bit of talent and ability, and they hide their suckerness behind their talent and ability. I'm one of them dudes that can go ahead and weed through all that and say, I can see the bitch in you. I'm a real fighter. They boxers, it's a difference.
How optimistic are you that you're going to get the fights that you want before your career is over?
I mean, I'm not sure, but this is something that I love to do. I love the sport that I'm in. I'm grateful that I'm in the sport. I feel like I needed this sport. To be honest with you. I was naturally an aggressive child. It took for my mother or my father, or my fathers and them, to recognize my level of aggression and say, hey, we got to put them in some type of contact sport, karate, football, or something. So boxing was just the perfect outlet for me. So even if I don't get the fights that I want to get, you know, and prove to the fans, to the people that's out there, a lot of y'all already know. Y'all, it's still some real people out here, and I know y'all can see the suckiness and the bitchiness in the back of these fighters. But it's cool, that's neither here or there. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, it's my job to continue to push, continue to grind. I'm a family man, and it's my job to assure my offspring a better chance of survival. Point blank period, I ain't gonna let nothing stand in the way of that.
You know, with that being said, is there any plans for you to fight before the year is out, or?
Oh, you know, I definitely want to get another one in before the year out. Already got one in February, so I want to definitely get one more in before the year is out. I seen that Showtime, they all ready to put down their whole little rundown list, but there's still slots available, so we can definitely it's still a possibility that we can get a fight in before then. I definitely want to fight one of these guys. I told y'all, I just got off the phone with Al Hemi yesterday. You know, we had a very serious conversation. I'm very interested in fighting the Terrence Crawford, moving up to 147. All I have to be is 141 for the commission to say the fights will go. You know, I don't have to make 147.
Do you think he would take that fight? In your honest opinion, do you think he would take that fight?
Man, it's real hard to dictate how suckers move, so I don't know. It's hard to dictate how punks move. When you got somebody that's thorough, you can kind of bank on it. Yeah, well, nah. If you was thorough, you'll be like, you know what, Bob, I know we got this going on here, but this something that I really want to get off my chest. And you know what I'm saying, I want to prove to the world.
Because currently he doesn't have a fight right now.
He don't got a fight. I want to prove to the world, I want to prove to the fans, and I want to redeem myself for letting this man punch me in the face and not doing nothing. What's up? We can cross the bridge. I'm right here. Come on, man.
That would be a huge pay-per-view event.
And it would be a huge pay-per-view event. Who wouldn't pay to see one of the best big guys fight one of the best little guys? Who wouldn't? And I actually got the skills to pay the bills. I'm one of them guys that can really jump multiple weight classes and support this shit and back it up behind actual skill, actual talent, not because of clout or fame or notoriety. A lot of people, they pick people based upon fame or notoriety. They don't even have to know the individuals. They don't have to know nothing about boxing at all. But if they watch TV and they be like, well, who you think gonna win? In most cases, they gonna pick whoever's the most popular. They gonna pick whoever's the most popular. They're not picking off of just pure talent and ability. That's real stupid of them.
Has in your opinion, has boxing moved from gladiators to a popularity contest?
Hell yeah, man. This shit turned to WWE and some more shit, wrestling and everything else. I'm too real. I'm too raw and too real for the fake shit that going in boxing. The managers, the promoters, the fighters, they know I'm a stand-up guy. I'm not going for anything. It gotta make sense if you want me to be a part of it. If it don't make sense, then I'm not a part of it. I'm not somebody that's gonna get bullied or muscled into anything. I'm gonna stand on all 10 toes that the God, my mother, and my father blessed me with. That's it. That's all. And to all y'all suckers, y'all in the way, man.
Now-
Come and see me, man.
Now I got asked because already Tank is fighting Leo. Do you think that fight will ever happen with you and Leo in the future or no?
To be honest with you, if Tank beat him, I wouldn't. I don't even want to fight. Leo. What's the purpose of fighting? He been in my weight division for 5 years. He's been running for 5 years. It ain't no fun beating up on somebody that ain't trying to fight back.
Now let's say by miracle or
Well, I am gonna say this. I'm not gonna write Leo out. The reason why I'm not gonna write Leo out is based upon the fact that one, the fight's gonna be at 130. Tank already showed that his living habits and the way that he's not, what's the word I'm looking for? His professionalism when it comes to the sport, he shows his lack of it. He just moved up to 135. When he fought Gamboa, he ain't make 135. He didn't make the weight for 135. So you mean to tell me you're gonna go all the way down to 130, 5 pounds less than the weight that you couldn't make when you already had 7 to 8 weeks to prepare to make this weight? Now you mean to tell me you can go to 35? I mean go to 30? I think he gonna put a lot of strain on his body. I still think Tank has a puncher's chance, but because they're fighting at 30, I wouldn't rule Leo Santa Cruz completely out, because Tank might fuck around and kill himself trying to make 130. He might kill himself trying to make 130, and even in the Gamboa fight, after the 5th round, he was only throwing, 4 punches a round? Leo's a pressure fighter. He throws a lot of punches. If Leo get him past 5 and his gas tank start hitting E, and Leo still punching and running at him, Leo can make some shake.
let's say Leo wins that fight. What's the possibilities of the matchup with you and him? Could that be made since Al Heyman would be involved with that?
If he win, then that'll be a fight that we'll entertain. But if he lose, then it's a waste of my time.
Correct.
Just like Tevin Farmer. I was gonna fight Tevin Farmer. He said something about he wanted to fight me if he beat JoJo, X, Y, and Z. But JoJo spanked that ass. Good. I knew JoJo was gonna be a world champion. Shout out to JoJo. He a good dude. You know what I'm saying? He one of the real ones in the sport. He knew what he was up against. Fighting me, and he was willing to put it all on the line. His best wasn't good enough, but he kept pushing and became a world champion. And with that fight, it was a unanimous decision, and he whitewashed Tevin Farmer. He did whatever he wanted to Tevin Farmer after having his eye split open in the 2nd round. For 10 rounds with a whole split cut eye.
But you said that last year that JoJo Diaz was.
Yeah,
You said that.
I said that. I knew JoJo was gonna do it. Beat Tevin Farmer. I knew he had what it took to beat Tevin Farmer. I'm just an exceptional type guy. My skills is second to none. Anybody that stepped in the ring and competed against me, they'll tell you.
Yeah.
E and Leo still punching and running at him. Leo can make some shake.
Let's say Leo wins that fight. What's the possibilities of the matchup with you and him? Could that be made since Al Heyman would be involved with that?
If he win, then that'll be a fight that we'll entertain. But if he lose, then it's a waste of my time.
Correct.
Just like Tevin Farmer. I was gonna fight Tevin Farmer. He said something about he wanted to fight me if he beat JoJo, X, Y, and Z. But JoJo spanked that ass. Good. I knew JoJo was gonna be a world champion. Shout out to JoJo. He a good dude. You know what I'm saying? He one of the real ones in the sport. He knew what he was up against. Fighting me, and he was willing to put it all on the line. His best wasn't good enough, but he kept pushing and became a world champion. And with that fight, it was a unanimous decision, and he whitewashed Tevin Farmer. He did whatever he wanted to Tevin Farmer after having his eye split open in the 2nd round. For 10 rounds with a whole split cut eye.
But you said that last year that JoJo Diaz was.
Yeah,
You said that.
I said that. I knew JoJo was gonna do it. Beat Tevin Farmer. I knew he had what it took to beat Tevin Farmer. I'm just an exceptional type guy. My skills is second to none. Anybody that stepped in the ring and competed against me, they'll tell you.
Yeah. Before we end this, man, I gotta talk about your brothers again, man. What's the timeline you think, man, that first we'll start with Antoine, that he'll get that opportunity, man. People know he a dog, man. They probably want to stay away from him right now at the 140.
See, that's the thing. A lot of people gonna want to stay away from him.
What you think the possibility with him and Regis? I match up with him and Regis.
That's a good one. Don't he got a nickname?
I don't know Regis. I just know Regis Prograde. I don't know the nickname though.
Okay, Regis Prograde. I heard the name.
Because I had that tough battle when he lost to Josh Taylor.
Oh yeah. Well, to be honest with you, my little brother, Shorty a motherfucking monster. Y'all better get the fuck out the way. I'm trying to tell you, man. Or lace your boots on real tight, because he coming. I mean, within the next 6 months to a year, he's going to be willing to run that everybody smoking. And one of the names that he got on, somebody that he got on his radar, I'm about to just put this shit out there. But Robert Easton, he on your ass.
Oh,
he on
hit
your
it.
ass. He trying to see you too, Slim. He trying to see you, man. We was trying to fight AB too. I offered to fight AB. They turned it down. AB say he don't know when he gonna get in the ring, X, Y, and Z.
Plus, he won $10 million.
That's a smart move. You know what I'm saying? I was gonna beat his ass. I was gonna make AB look bad for you. You know what I'm saying? But it's cool. You know what I'm saying? We can go down the line, man. Because my little brother won Robert Easton. That's definitely one of the guys that he want, one of the main names that he wanted on his list to really open the door. You know what I'm saying? He want to kick the door in with that. You know, so.
And lastly, your brother Antonio.
Oh, Antonio, man, shorty, he has exceptional punching ability. For him to be 118, 122, he don't hit like a 118 pounder or 122 pounder. You know, he got that exceptional pop. He got that at any given time of the touch you. That's your ass. And you gonna feel him. You know, we train different, man. We different animals.
You know, I feel this is time, man. You see all these other fighters get, but you think they staying away from him?
Nah, well, as of now, I don't think they're staying away from my younger brothers as of yet, but I'm pretty sure they keep looking over their shoulders like, man, where the fuck they at? Because when they do come, we gonna get the fuck out their way. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. We ain't really stepped on the gas with my younger brothers yet, but we about to start stepping on the gas and we going full throttle. We going full throttle with it. So everybody who is somebody in that weight division or near it, y'all might want to get on y'all shit or get the fuck out of the way.
Now, as a fan of the sport, man, I want to say, man, we want to see the best fights happen, man, and we're hoping that one of these things come through, and hopefully these negotiations can probably start back up with you and Devin, man.
As a gladiator.
Or Terrence.
Yeah, as a gladiator of the sport, I want exactly what the fans want. You know, everyone, the fans know that I've been calling all these guys out. I've called out Tank Davis, Floyd Mayweather. He gonna grab the whole mic like he was Tank Father talking about something. Yeah, nah, well, Gary ain't. I don't think Gary's at competing at 130 as of yet. But she was about to fight somebody that just moved up from 122. Like, don't try to play these manipulative games with the people. You can manipulate the people. You can't manipulate me. You know, but it's that time, man. It's that time.
I gotta ask though, man, because the fans want to know, man. Is there an actual timeline for you to vacate, or you plan on just keeping that belt at the 126?
Man, I'm keeping my motherfucking strap. Unless ain't nobody gonna take it from me. I'm keeping my strap, and I'm moving up in weight. I'm fighting whoever, and I'm coming back down. I'm coming back down from my
That was
strap.
one of the questions that was.
I'm keeping my strap.
You hear it?
I'm
He keeping
the gatekeeper. Ain't nobody walking down the street as long as I got the strap. Point blank period. Point blank period. I'm the whole gatekeeper. Ain't nobody want this motherfucker yet. Ain't nobody trying. Ain't nobody gonna get it. I'm gonna keep my strap unless I move up and fight one of these guys. If I fight a Terrence, do Terrence got a belt?
Yeah.
He do? I don't know. I just want to beat his ass. But if I fight a Terrence and he got a belt and I beat that ass, then I vacate. I keep his belt. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, nah.
It's bad blood between y'all, huh? At this point. At this point.
Listen, to be honest with you, it ain't no bad blood with me. He got punched in the face for doing something stupid. I ain't tripping. I really don't give a fuck. I'm the type of person I can't walk away from a situation knowing that I didn't check it or handle it right then and there. So I'm perfectly fine on my end. Ain't no bad blood. Ain't no bad blood on my end. But I would never let my guards down against this man that I done punched in his motherfucking face. Either. Now, ain't nothing been squashed between me and him. He seen me since then and he ain't say shit to me. To be honest with you, he ain't even look my way. He spoke to my father though. He did speak to my father in the Olympic trial. You know what I'm saying? When my little brother made the Olympic team. But I mean, it is what it is. If they mad that somebody else, and this is the thing, a lot of people make it seem like I was the one that put this shit out. I didn't put this out. I could have been put this shit out a long time ago. Todd, the white boy Todd was the one who put this out like 3 years ago when they asked Todd about Terrence fighting, what's the guy that Danny fought? Danny got Matisse. They asked him about fighting Matisse, Terrence and Matisse, and what he thought. And he was like, well, I'm not real big fan. I'm not really sold on Terrence. Woo-de-woo. You know, I ain't gonna put all his business out there, but he got into an altercation with Mr. Gary Russell Jr., and he got the short end of the stick, and I think that chin problem will haunt him for the rest of his career. He put that shit out there. Fred asked me a question to ask me, was it true? I attempted to avoid the question, and then he was like, so it's not true? I'm like, oh no, he definitely got punched in the fucking face. That is definitely true. You know what I'm saying? But nah, if he feels some type of way about that, then who gives a fuck? I really don't give a fuck how he feel. I want to fight now. He wasn't even on my radar, but since you got something to say, now I want to fight you. I'm a real fighter. Any man that said they want, man, listen, I'm a real fighter, man. It ain't nothing personal, man. Ain't nothing personal against Turn. You know what I'm saying? But he got people in his camp that could reach out and talk to me personally. And if he had an issue, he could have called and said something. So on some man terms, I really don't give a fuck. I just want to fight him now. Because he was never somebody that was on my roster or even in my crosshairs. But now I'm on your ass. What's up? Where Bob at? Come see me. Let's make this fight.
Hey, man.
It's simple as that. It's simple as that.
There you have it. On the ropes, the WBC featherweight champion.
Yeah.
Longest reigning WBC champion, Mr. Gary Russell Jr. I really appreciate your time today, as always.
Oh, yeah. Always.
Straight out of D.C.
Come on, man.
All right, we out.